Hi everyone, and welcome to the next video. My name is Paul Murphy and this is the Passive Income Ladder SEO for Beginners course. So today we're going to be talking about setting up your very first PBN, and surprise surprise, of course we're going to be using WordPress, our platform of choice. Now if you haven't seen the videos on how to set a WordPress site up from scratch, then it's advisable to go and look at that in the course or have a look on the YouTube channel, and if not, and also just to check on the plugins that you need, because we're going to be using similar plugins for our PBNs as we would for our money sites. So I would advise, if you haven't seen those videos, go and watch those first. But what I'm going to do now is go through all of the settings and the on page and everything that you need, on page optimization should I say, and everything that you need for your PBN. Now in the original video we used this website. Well, what we'll do is we'll now assume that we're using this as a PBN. Okay, so it should be exactly the same as we left it last time, because I haven't actually used it since we started the course. So this is going to be our PBN. We've already set the website up, we've chosen a theme, we're sort of ready to rock and roll. We've got our plugins. So just going over the plugins that I would use for the PBN. Everything is going to be fairly similar to the plugins that I discovered, apart from maybe a couple of little tweaks here and there. So we'll just go through all the plugins. Now, when you purchase a PBN, now depending on how many backlinks, obviously there is another video on looking at all the metrics that you can look at depending on your metric aggregator of choice. You can use SEMrush, Ahrefs, or you can use Majestic, or you can use Moz, which is Open Site Explorer. So all of those you can use to look at certain metrics. Now, if you've got thousands and thousands of backlinks, normally I wouldn't have bought the domain in the first place for a PBN. But if you've got say sort of 50 or 60 backlinks and they're quite strong, it might be quite good to get this plugin. Now this is 404 to 301. Now bearing in mind, obviously, when you purchase this domain and you set it up, if it's got 50 odd backlinks and it's got a lot of power, there could be a lot of links going to that site. And obviously all of the backlinks that are going to this site before you purchased it won't be just going to the home page, they'll be going to / whatever. Now, if it's only got sort of say 50 or 60 backlinks, some of those links might be going to dead pages if you don't install this, and you might lose some of that power. Now again, the people have pros and cons for using this. Again, I would be careful. If it's got thousands of backlinks, this can be looked at as spam, and it could actually make your PBN worthless. So just maybe just use your nous. Just think to yourself, well, if it's got 50 or 60 backlinks, we don't want to lose all the power from those links. So all this means is that every single page that that, for instance, mizafimi.net / car review might be one of the pages, just as an example. If there's a link going to car review, that would get a 404 error. Okay, and obviously Google hates that, because Google doesn't like website. It's kind of part of their penalty system, is that if you haven't got all of these things tied up, they won't like that. And bearing in mind, because you can't control all the links coming in, and obviously you want those links, especially if they're powerful. If they're not powerful, you can actually contact the supplier and actually tell them to take it down. But if it's a powerful link and it's going to be giving juice to your PBN, which will in turn give juice to your money site, you're going to most definitely want those links to carry juice. So from 404 to 301 just means that it basically makes it go to the home page. So to give you an example, we'll just click on the settings of this plugin. Yeah, so 301 directs to custom URL, and then it just goes, you can have it direct to any page, but normally I just have it directed to the home page, because the home page will then distribute the juice throughout the site. So you can sort of set up other little things in there if you want, but just for the purpose of this video, you can install that, and yeah, you just go to add new plugin 404 to 301, and then make sure it's by Joel James, and then you should be good to go. So that's a really good one, but I was just going to show you, wasn't I, quickly how that works. So for instance, if I put in a load of old rubbish there, press enter, just go straight back to the main page, whereas it would get a 404 error if we hadn't had this plugin. So that's what that does. Auto terms of service and privacy policy, so we can activate that, and what you would need to do, allow and continue, that's fine. If you remember what we were talking about with footprints as well, I mean, I'm going to give you some ideas of some plugins, but there's so many plugins with WordPress that you obviously want to mix it up, because if you're using exactly the same plugins on all of your PBNs for your money site, that kind of is a bit obvious, and Google might pick up on that. So again, mix up these plugins, try and find another plugin that does something similar. It's not that hard. I mean, you obviously check by the ratings and the settings and all the rest of it. I'm actually going to delete contact form 7 because I don't need that. I don't need people contacting me on this site. This is a PBN. So auto terms of privacy policy. Now it's important. It's getting more and more important with Google as well now, for you, and it's a kind of legal requirement for you to have. I usually put them in the footer. A terms of service and a FAQ and privacy policy. So I mean, yeah. Terms of service, FAQ, and privacy policy, I think, is all you need at the bottom, and this will automatically generate that for you, and then you can supply the links, and you can make any tweaks that you want to do that. I won't go into that because you can Google that, and there'll be loads of videos on how to do that. But again, it's advisable to have those and put those links. And don't forget, if you remember from the other video, we showed you how to make menus. You just make to do that. You just make a separate menu, and then you can put that in the bottom in your footer as a separate menu, so that there's links for those. Actually, let's just have a very quick look, because I haven't actually done one of these for a while. Yeah, privacy policy, terms of service, and terms of service and a privacy policy, if you want those all in one. And then you would just put, you just create, these will be created on a page, and then you can just put links to them at the bottom. Google loves that, and you'll get better rankings. And the better ranking that your PBN gets, the more juice it passes to your money site, which is what you want at the end of the day. So contact form 7, I think I just deleted that, but maybe. So share buttons and tools to grow. So obviously you want to put some social buttons on your site. Again, I've kind of covered that, so I'm not going to go into that. This is really good if you're going to put a video on your PBN, which we are going to put a video on our PBN. You don't need to generate a video for your PBN. We just need to find a video that's in the similar niche to what you're trying to rank. Then this will get you ranked on Google faster. Bearing in mind, this will be a brand new setup. You won't be ranked on Google. It can take quite a lot of time for Google to index you. This plugin is really, really good for getting you indexed quicker, but obviously you need to make sure that you've got a video on your homepage or on one of your pages that you're trying to rank. So that's good that's good for getting your ranking. Yoast SEO is a must. You want that on every single. Oh, that's interesting. WP Toolkit is just something that I've got. It's not actually relevant to this at all, really. This is just a plugin that I've got to purchase that actually has a certain amount of premium domains. On there, you pay a subscription and you get access to premium domains. So I don't know why that's on here actually, because I don't need that on this one, because this is for some other reason, but maybe I put it on for some other reason. And then you've got Yoast SEO plugin. That again, like I said, goes on every single one of your PBNs and your money site. Again, you could mix this up, especially on a PBN. You don't necessarily. I mean, Yoast is in my opinion the best one for SEO. But obviously if you put Yoast on every single site, is it going to have a footprint? Maybe not. Again, there's one called all-in-one SEO that you could use, or maybe on some of your PBNs, but I'm not going to train that. I only ever use Yoast. Yes, I know it might give a footprint, but then again, I know so many people use it now. I don't think Google's going to pick up much on that personally, but again, personal choice. If you want to make sure you're not leaving a footprint, then do mix it up. So I've got a notification here. I'm just going to try and clear all these bits because they tend to annoy me. We've noticed you've been using Yoast for some time now. We'd like to be, please don't show me that for now. Okay, that just gets rid of that, and it just kind of makes it nice and neat. So now, the first thing is that a lot of your PBNs, I mean, the idea behind ranking money sites is to not waste lots and lots and lots of time doing lots of different things. But the idea behind a PBN is to make it look natural to Google. When Google crawls this website, they want to know that this is a genuine website and it's up for a certain reason. Now, don't forget, Google is, it's just algorithms. Nobody human will be looking at your website. So it can sort of make a little bit of nonsense, but it does have to look like a genuine website. And also, if somebody finds your private blog network, it'd be nice if, it'd be good for you to kind of have that protection by making it look a little bit like a real website. So what I would suggest in this instance, I mean, this was an article that when I was actually showing you how to set up your WordPress website, I just nicked off the internet. So you would not want to do that on a PBN. What you need to do is you need to get an article on here. Okay, you want to have an image, a video. Okay, you also want to have, so this would be your home page, because your homepage has got most of the juice. So you definitely want to have a unique article on your homepage. You want to have a unique image on your homepage, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And you need to have a video on your homepage, one so that it gets crawled. One main reason is so that it gets crawled. And you need to have the whole site sort of fitting in with some sort of theme that makes it look natural. However, what I will say is that some of the best PBNs I've found that rank, because to rank your site, I mean, obviously when you purchase a PBN, the most valuable PBN that you can use to rank a money site would be something that's in the same niche. Now this is getting harder and harder to find, but you can, if you can actually categorize things. So for instance, if you was trying to rank something to do with socks, you could buy a PBN in a footwear or a sports niche, or you can really link them in. But so, I mean, obviously when you're searching for PBNs, say your money site is about selling, say you're selling socks, let's just use that as an example. Anything that's kind of closely linked to socks you can tie in quite well. But let's say, for argument's sake, that you haven't got anything that's closely related whatsoever to your niche. So for instance, you've got a sock website and you want to rank a website that's to do with, well, let's say teeth maintenance. Okay, so your PBN is actually, you've purchased your PBN. Now your backlinks coming in are going to be relevant to socks, for instance. But what you really want to do is you want to use this PBN to rank your site in the dental niche. Okay, so what you would need to do is you would need to get an original article written. Now, in that original article, I'm going to keep this one in here because I haven't got an original article. But let's just say, for instance, I've got this written. You get that on iWriter. You can usually get it the same day, maybe a day or two later. You don't need to spend a lot of money because this is for a PBN. Again, you don't. When this ranks, you're not looking for people to come to this site and actually purchase anything. It's just going to be sending juice to your money site. So obviously you need an original article. Now the reason you need an original article is because Google has penalties for duplicate content, and sometimes it's just delisting. So or they're not going to give you high rankings because they know that is kind of that information's already out there, so why keep presenting it to people? So that's not sort of really good practice for them to keep doing that. So they've introduced this over the years so that they avoid that. So obviously that's why you need a unique article, and I've given you a video in the course on how to get those articles. So once you've got your unique article on here, the next thing you need to do is to get an original image and make sure you tag it correctly. So if we just go to edit page. Now, getting an original image is not quite so easy because obviously all of these images are all over Google. Now, this tip is actually quite a premium tip, and not a lot of people know this, so this will come in quite handy for you, I'm sure. If you go to YouTube, okay, now let's just type in teeth whitening, because that's what we're doing. And if we get a video where there's something going on, there's some sort of presentation. And
apply the gel to the trays.
Okay, so here we are. I mean, I had to jump a bit because I had to look around to find something. So we're on YouTube, and we have got a, let's just make that full screen. So we've got an image here that we've just paused the video. Let's just get it a bit clearer. Let's just make that bigger. So if you're on a Mac, I think you can just Shift Command. If you're on a Mac, I think you can just Shift Command 3. Okay, and then you save the image. And then what you can do is, I'll just, if you just bear with me, I'll just grab that image and put that back in here. Grab an image. It was kind of, would have just been a bit boring for me to just grab an image and to edit it all and everything. So what I did was I went to YouTube. I looked through a few videos and I found a video, and then I basically took a screenshot of that image. Now if you go to Google, let's just put anything in there. If you go to put something in there so that you get this menu up, so do a little search on anything and then you'll get this menu up. And if you click on images, if you come here, some of you might have actually watched this and seen this on Catfish. They actually use this to see if people are genuine on Catfish. But what we do is because we've taken a screenshot of a video on YouTube, if you go search by image, if you upload the image that you took the screenshot from, if we just go to all my files, let's go to desktop, let's open that. So what it will do is, the reason you need to do this is because you want to make sure that you're using a unique image. Now if that image has been used anywhere on the internet, it will come up here. Now, so now you're using this image that I actually took off of a video. So this image now Google thinks is unique, okay? And Google gives you a lot of power for that, for using unique images on your PBN. So now you've got a unique image, you can upload it to here. So if we go to replace, upload files, select file, just go, and then insert that image. That should take a second. Okay, so the other thing as well is that whatever keyword, so when you've written your article, you would be normally on a money site, you will be going after a certain keyword. Now on a PBN, you still want to go after one of the best keywords that you can rank for, because obviously the higher the ranking, the better the juice it's going to flow. But you won't want to use the keywords that you're using on your money site, and you won't want to use a keyword that's going to, because sometimes what you'll notice is that if you're using exactly the same keywords as your money site, your PBN will rank sometimes above your money site or next to your money site. So you want to try and avoid that. But for the sake of argument, obviously what you do want to do is you want this the image to have the keyword. So let's just say our keyword here is teeth whitening, just for example. So we want to make sure that the alt text is always in there with the image, and replace that. You can have the actually I wouldn't have that in capitals. And then let's just copy and put it there. I have it the same sometimes, that's absolutely fine. So, and then you just press replace. You can put other information if you want in there, but I never normally bother. So that is now a brand new and unique image, and that's really good. So I mean, obviously you've got a unique article, you've got a unique image, everything looks good in the eyes of Google, which will help you rank really well. Now on top of this, if we go to teeth whitening, let's go a nice video. We need to put an image. Sorry, we need to put a video. So, okay, this will do. I mean, obviously you want to try and make it as relevant as you can. Actually, that's not a YouTube video. We want a YouTube video, ideally. Okay, actually, that's fine. That one's fine.
Hi guys, it's Candy, and I'm gonna.
That's absolutely fine. So to paste a video in, if you go to the share button, go to embed, then it will actually give you the embed code there, and you just copy that, and then you can just find somewhere that you like to put it. I think here's fine for me. Let's get rid of the bullet points there. And when you embed a video, you just need to go over to text, look at what the line is there, checkups. So go over to text, just make sure that you can find checkups. There it is. So I would just post it somewhere there. That should work absolutely fine. I know that some people might feel this looks really nervous, but don't worry, it'll be absolutely fine. As long as you kind of post it in a space area, it will just appear like that. And then you can actually just come back into this bit and tidy it up a little bit. And yeah, you can see like the text is much too near, so that's quite nice. And then so what you've done here is you've now you've got your original article, you've got an original image, and you've now got a video which will help you rank a lot quicker with that plugin that we've got. So that's your first part already done. Okay, now when you get your article written with iWriter, you can, I mean, or wherever you get it written, obviously you can get it written with all your keywords in, but this is the opportunity to kind of make sure, go over your keywords, because you don't want to be doing keyword stuffing in your PBN. Okay, so let's assume that we're going after the word perfect teeth maintenance for this PBN. So what we would now need to do is, for this site to rank really well with Google, what we want to do is we want to do an outbound link. Okay, now there is one here. I don't know if I did that on the original video. I can't actually remember, but perhaps I did. Now your outbound link would normally be something authoritative. Now there's one here that says gum disease. So what I would do here is, I spell disease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E. Okay, so what I would do here is probably go to Wikipedia, but in a lot of instances, I mean, like the NHS is quite good in the UK, but the problem is that I'm actually on google.co.uk at the moment. Normally I would just go straight to google.com. Now if this is if this is a site I'm trying to rank in America, you don't really want this going to a place in the UK. However, a lot of people always use Wikipedia. I think this is slightly obvious using Wikipedia, and I wouldn't always use Wikipedia. It just sort of depends on the outbound link. You want it to be authoritative, but Wikipedia is very obvious, and quite a lot of PBNs will just have one link straight away to Wikipedia. That's fine, it's good, but again, it's not always relevant. If you've got something like gum disease, having a health service in your country might be even more relevant if they've got some authority pages on that. So there we go, dentalhealth.org. This looks like let's just check that is, yeah. So that's the Oral Health Foundation. That's not specific to the UK necessarily, and it tells you about gum disease. So what I would do, that looks like a much more natural link than just going to Wikipedia. So it's fine to link to Wikipedia all the time. It's I don't see a massive problem with that, but again, I always try and make it look natural. I mean, bearing in mind a PBN is your property. This is something you're going to keep for a long time, so I always try and get it set up. Oh, that didn't really work. I always try and get it set up the best way, the proper way from the start. It doesn't actually take any longer. That's better. It doesn't take any longer. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Paste and then press OK. Okay, it's because I keep pressing the remove. Okay, it doesn't take any longer to do it properly, and then you'll have it for a long time, for many years to come, and it'll make you a lot of money. So it's really good. Now there's a link here. I'll leave that, so you can have a couple of links going out, which is really good. And then what you want to do is to go through and make sure that you've put perfect teeth maintenance in a few times. with some synonyms, which basically means that, I mean, as of 2017, Google's now going back to exact match domains. It was knitting things together quite well with more synonyms and stuff like that, but I think, in fact, I don't work for Google, but I did notice that the rankings of stuff that was coming through last year was not making a lot of sense. You could Google a lot of things and you wouldn't be getting a lot of relevant sites. Now, obviously, there's a lot of SEOs out there trying to rank weird sites, but I actually think that their algorithm was trying to be too clever, and I think what they've had to do is go back to making it simpler so that, if you're trying to rank for the word perfect teeth maintenance, you're telling Google that this is what your site's about, and Google is obeying that and saying, okay, yeah, this is what we need to rank for, because it just makes more sense. And I think, I mean, again, I don't know this as a fact, but I'm pretty sure that's why they're doing it. So what you would then do, I'm not going to do this now, is just go down and put this in a few times and make sure, 2 or 3 times is fine. For try and do something that's kind of resembles perfect teeth maintenance. Try and make sure that the article is about perfect teeth maintenance. So if your article has been written and it hasn't got enough about that, then just try and put that in. Now, the thing is, obviously, you're trying to rank for a website about socks. Now, because this is a PBN, and you do want this site to rank just so that it sends juice, but you don't really want, you don't need people coming to this site and doing anything, because this is used purposely for ranking. So some of this could be a little bit of nonsense, and trust me, it absolutely works. So don't worry too much about this. You've done everything you need to do on page. You've kind of made sure that your words are in so that you're going to rank for that term on your PBN. But the next thing you want to do, okay, is you want to have a section, and you want to link this into the thing that you're trying to rank. Now, if you happen to be ranking for socks, I wouldn't have had an article written that was exactly just about teeth maintenance. What I would have done was I would have had an article written about teeth maintenance, perfect teeth maintenance, otherwise you might get sock breath or something. So you can kind of tie it in, and then that way, I mean, obviously, again, it's not necessarily relevant, but somehow or other you're going to make it relevant, because you're going to need to put a link to your site that's selling socks. So what I would do in this instance, I mean, again, it's very loose, but it's fine as long as it looks natural and the link coming in is going to be a genuine link and it's not spammy, which, that's the main thing you're trying to avoid. Then putting a link to a sock site, as long as you make it completely genuine, is absolutely fine. Okay. So I would put something on here like some people who do not maintain, oops, sorry about this, maintain dental hygiene may get bad sock breath, and if you don't want this, I would suggest going to this this company to purchase nice fresh socks, or you could just clean your teeth properly. You could put lol, I mean, maybe not lol. So again, this is kind of a bit loose and it's a bit weird, but it kind of gets the idea. I can't spell hygiene clearly. It kind of gets the idea across, but what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to link it in so it looks relevant. The more relevant it is, the better it is, really, to be truthful. But again, you don't need the perfect match of everything. In fact, to get going, really, all of these PBNs, I mean, I've had PBNs that have sent power that have absolutely had no relevance. Sometimes I just put a link in there, sometimes I just put a naked URL in there, and it will still send some power. So try and make it as more relevant as you can, but don't worry too much. You will still get power. And obviously, you just want to tie it in so. I don't know what I've done here. You just want to tie it in so that it looks natural, as natural as possible. So let's just do this. So some people who do not maintain dental hygiene may get bad sock breath. And if you don't want this, I would suggest going to this company to purchase nice fresh socks. So, and then what you want to do is you're going to be using your keyword that you're trying to rank on your money site. Now, bear in mind, you're also going to get articles written for your money site, and you're going to be ranking for lots and lots and lots of keywords. So let's say, I mean, I'm not actually using a real money site here, but let's say, for instance, you're trying to purchase socks for men, and the keyword that you're trying to rank is for nice fresh socks. For instance, say for instance you've got a page, you know that it's going to get a lot of traffic for the word nice fresh socks, and your website might be socks for men or something like that. So then that is what is your anchor text. So what you would then do is you'd put your link to your website, http and then www and then whatever your .com, and then / whatever page it is you're trying to rank. Now obviously if you can just put it straight to the home page, and then obviously that will send the juice out through the site. But obviously if you've got a site that's you've got a page that is, the page is nice fresh socks, the anchor text needs to be nice fresh socks. On your money site you need to have your article written in the way that I showed you originally with nice fresh socks on there, and that is how you rank basically. So this would be their nice fresh socks. Okay, so you would then, that would be your, I mean, it's because I didn't put one too many of them in. So there you go. So I mean, that's a load of rubbish, that link, but that kind of gives you the idea of what you're doing. And you can also put a naked URL on there. Again, there's lots of different debates going on how many links to put on each page of a PBN. I find just one link absolutely golden is fine. If you want to put another link somewhere on the page, that's absolutely fine. I mean, obviously you haven't got too many outbound links on this page, so you're absolutely good to go. It loves having a few good links on there anyway. Google loves that if you do that. Okay, so let's just press update on that. So that gets you your main homepage set up. But again, now you haven't finished with your PBN at this stage, because at the moment these are not real pages, are they? These are, when I set these up, yeah, they're not there. So when I set this up, I basically was just showing you how to create pages. But what you're going to need, okay, I'm not going to show you how to do it because it's pretty straightforward. But you want this to be a real site. You don't want this to look rubbish. I mean, if somebody comes to this website and they see there's no other links on here, there's just an article and there's just a few outbound links with one going to a sock site, doesn't look natural. So in the bottom here, you want your terms of service and your privacy. At the top here, you want an about us. Maybe you might have another page with another link, and you could use it to link another one of your pages on your website. I certainly wouldn't be using this for lots of different PBNs unless you're on. You can, that's absolutely fine, but again, you've got to be careful on how you're setting your PBNs up so that you're not cross-linking PBNs with money sites. And the video before this explains how to do that, but I wouldn't be using it generally for that, especially to start with. But you do want a few pages on here, so you want to make it look natural. So you want to put a little bit in your title about what this site is, teeth whitening. I wouldn't call it Mizufumi, that's just the name of the website. So you could say Mizufumi teeth whitening, for instance, so that it kind of ties in with that. And then you'd have a about us, and then maybe a couple of articles. And you could have an FAQ if you wanted to do. You could just kind of get some other information on there. Again, try not to duplicate any of your content. You could write a quick FAQ, something like that, and then a contact us, and then you could just put a little contact us page in. That contact form 7 is quite good. You could kind of put that in there, and then you've got 2 or 3 pages. You've got a real website. And you know, once you've kind of got into the habit of doing this, you've got a few. You know, you can set these up in. I mean, I could set 10 of these up a day now, to be honest with you. So it just takes a little bit of practice. I mean, the first time you do it, it's going to take a little bit of time. But again, use the free themes. Don't spend too much money. Cost wise, you know, you can get a PBN for 10 quid. If you get an expired domain for nothing, you just have to pay for the domain. Obviously, if you're using shared hosting, and you know that's £3, $3 to $7, or you know, pound a month. But then again, you can put many sites on there, so that's kind of minimal. And then you've got your time of setting this up, and it's something you can actually outsource as well. If you go to Fiverr or to Conquer, you can get this outsourced. You can get people to set these all up for you. And there's now a company, I mean, they're quite expensive, but you could use Easy Blog Networks, which I'm not an affiliate of or anything, but you can Google that and they will set up PBMs in seconds, apparently. But again, you still have to purchase the domains, but they allow it to be they allow your websites to be completely footprint free without you having to worry too much about doing anything. Again, when you purchase the domains, the registrar information has to be separate. So Easy Blog Networks doesn't go into that, but it's just a little bit of a warning. If you do go with them, you do need to basically think about who the domain's registered to, because if you've got loads and loads and loads of PBNs, it's not completely footprint free if they're all registered to the same person. So just another little bit of a tip. So yeah, hopefully that's given you enough information to be getting going with PBNs. Again, it's just about getting going. Once you've got a website, once you've got pages you want to rank, you get a few of these PBNs, you get them set up, you get some articles. There's a little bit of time consuming because obviously you have to wait for the articles to come back, but you've got to have original content. That's kind of vital. It's good to have an original image. It's good to have a video on there. Good to have outbound links. Obviously set up your keywords, make sure you've got a few pages. Obviously the about us stuff, just make sure that you're kind of careful with that and it's not linking to you, so you're not creating any footprints. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you need for a PBN. Yeah, I mean, that is it. So I think with that said, I'll see you in the next video.
Just to add on from that, don't forget to join us on Facebook, where you can get all the free course tools, the PDFs and the downloads. Also, you get free support for the course, and any questions that you have on SEO, anything to do with the course, or anything else you can think of to do with SEO, just come on into that group, and either myself or someone in the group will be able to help you. Simply go to facebook.com/groups/passive income ladder. And we'll see you on in there. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the training fresh off the press as it's released. I'm putting up videos all the time, so obviously you want to make sure you get all the cutting edge information about SEO. Most of the stuff is really up to date, so it's a good idea for you to subscribe to the channel, get it all as it comes out. And obviously, if you're subscribed to the channel, you will get free access to the full free course. Don't forget to check the show notes down below as well to see if there's anything else in there that's of any use to you to add on to this video.